welcome to the Novel Network podcast.
This is our first not an author guest on the show.
Yay.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Derek, this is Tori.
I know Tori.
So I'll let
Tori
you
and I,
introduce Tori.
we're like brother and sister at this point.
We are.
Nice.
No. Tori has been a beta, now like an alpha reader for me, to the point now where when I finish a chapter, it immediately goes to her for like the first, like she gets the scoop right off the bat of like what's going on in Derek's brain. No.
That's a scary place to be. First line of defense in an author's head.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just lots of dinosaurs. Lots of dinosaurs and
him all the
superheroes.
time.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Typo. Plot twist. You need to fill this plot hole.
Yeah. There might have been something here we missed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I'm excited for this part of our show because we get to learn a little bit about you. I mean, we can talk about what kind of books you like to read, how long you've been like kind of in the beta alpha, part of your bookish journey, I guess you could call it.
How did you even get into it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. That's a great place to start, actually.
Okay, like how I got into the alpha reading, beta reading, that type of thing. So actually, one of my friends that I met on TikTok, she was writing a romance book and she wanted me to alpha read it for her. So she would send me the chapters as she would go. And I thought, oh, this is really interesting. English was her second language. So for me, I had to kind of almost help her along with, hey, this doesn't quite make sense and things like that. And I think she really appreciated it. Now she wants to get the book traditionally published. She's, waiting. It takes a while, I guess, for something like that. But I was excited to do it. And so that's how I got into it. So when Derek asked me if I would like to do it for him, I was like, absolutely. After I finished reading everything that he's already published.
Yeah, you binge read the Dino Riff series.
I did, yeah. One after the other right before Primeval Ranch came out. So yes, I have read all of Derek's and I'm helping him just with, any, like, what is it?
Yeah.
The 10th anniversary UA.
Oh, yeah. That too.
One.
That's right.
And anything
I haven't
else
sent her much on that lately.
Oh, yeah, no, haven't been working on that one, but I do enjoy it. Just being able to help in the process and say, hey, there are some things he'll even catch that I won't as a reader, but it's cool to be the person that's like first in a way, makes you feel special that like, hey, I'm the first one that gets to see this. All of the other fans that he has don't get to read it until it comes out, but I do. So it's kind of interesting. It's cool to kind of keep the secrets of what I know versus, what everybody else doesn't.
And I feel like there's a really unique relationship between author and reader. I mean, I call all my readers my friends because, let's be honest, I treat everybody like you're a close friend. I appreciate the ability to brainstorm with your readers. Like, even as she mentioned earlier, there was something I caught that she didn't catch because I realized that there was a character earlier on in Sorcore Origins that said he was about to go and take off to the UK. And then a couple chapters later, same day, timeline-wise, I'm like, wait, I just had him show up at the end for, like, intense effect, but it doesn't make sense. And so I told Tori, I'm like, hold on, I got to change something here, and I got to let you know about this because it doesn't make sense. And she goes, I didn't even catch that. But,
right. And it's also because as he's writing it, usually he's sending it to me. So I'm reading, that may have been in chapter 2 and now I'm on chapter 15 and it's been some time. So I'm like, oh, well, I didn't catch it. But if someone was reading it really quickly, they might have. So it was good catch on that part.
So do you prefer the chapter by chapter or you prefer actually alpha reading, like say the whole thing when it's done?
No, I like to read it a chapter at a time. To be honest, that's like my favorite way to do it because it's like, ooh, I get these, 5 little nuggets I get to read, of this book, and then I get to go back to another one or whatnot, reading, all the works that somebody's working on is really cool.
Nice.
How has being an alpha reader changed how you read regular books?
It's interesting. I feel like it has made me appreciate different author styles more. So everyone has a different style when they write. Like Derek has his own style, whereas someone, traditionally published may have a totally different style. But I've actually kind of found in myself that I'm a very character driven reader now, just because I've been more invested in the characters that, Derek's sending to me and things like that. So if I find a book and it's very plot focused, it's almost like, oh man, I really wish I had some attachment to these characters and things like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of discovered that about myself through doing it. And so I guess it has changed how I view like a more action packed, less, character driven book.
It's a really interesting take though,
Yeah.
because like as Tori knows, my books are fairly dialogue heavy. So yeah, I mean maybe that's a good note for other authors out there. Just add a bit more that character development, as
Right.
Stewie from Family Guy would say.
Exactly. And some of my favorite books are books that have impacted me emotionally. And some of those are Derek's books, and some of those are, other books that I've read. So to me, I want to feel that emotional connection to the book to for it to fully be like a 5-star read for me personally. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. And also, I know you've talked about this story. I wouldn't say complained about it to me, but you've brought up things about other books.
yes.
So like what is the hard part of being an ARC or an alpha or a beta?
Right. I did recently read my first ARC that I got from NetGalley. And there were a lot of misspellings in the book. And I don't know if it was intentional, but the author didn't include any F's in any of their words. Like it was really strange. And I don't know if it was just a formatting error or something, but I was like, I hope they fix this before this book comes out. Traditionally
So
published.
she was telling me about this.
Yeah.
I had to make the joke. I'm like, obviously someone just didn't give an F.
Obviously. I give a lot of those in my book. 128 in the last one.
Oh, man.
Oh, does that the count of how many?
How many F-bombs?
were dropped?
Yeah, how many F-bombs? There's 128 in the last book.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That's okay. Hey, shoot. But yeah, there's just, when it comes to that can really take you as a reader, misspelling that you catch. And if it's multiple times over, like if it's one here or there, I understand, especially from like a self-published author who has to pay for their own editing, da da da. But when it's a traditionally published and you have something that glaring, I was like, oh my gosh, you just couldn't do it. It took me out of the story and everything. And just, I ended up DNFing it, honestly, because I just couldn't do it. And I hate to do that with an ARC.
Oh, and you said there was like a part where it was supposed to be like a really important like message or something?
Right. There was a part that was supposed to be like an important message that the main character was reading on a sign, and it was just empty. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to know what's going on? So I do
Sounds
feel
like a big formatting issue.
Right. And I do feel like I may try to put the book was good enough that I would probably try to pick it up again, like, the finished copy. Right. Yeah. So, because it was decent enough. So,
and I've never done anything through NetGalley. Are you able to contact either the author or someone about stuff like that?
You can write a review, and then I believe you can like mention that, hey, like I think this was a good idea, but I just couldn't get past the errors in formatting, and so people can take that review and use it as they want,
Yeah,
that's
smart.
It was rough though. It was rough to get through.
Rough.
It was rough.
There's so many missing F's. No.
It was like Inger instead of finger. Like I was like, what is this?
Yeah, right.
What?
It was too much.
That's too much. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
No.
So when did you start? When did you start alpha reading and beta reading for people?
Okay, so when I started alpha, I had for a brief period of time, I made TikTok videos. And so I would meet a lot of different authors and friends that were writers and things like that. Derek is one of them whom I met like just browsing around TikTok. And I think I landed on one of his lives and he's like, Tori. And I'm like, this guy doesn't know me, but I'll talk to him. So,
I tend to do that.
right. So, just the opportunity arose as I, started to get to know people within the book community and the TikTok book talk community. So that was really cool, and an experience to like meet these new people that you don't really know and yet bond with them over books. I think it's a great,
I
community to
love
be in, the
that.
book community. It's great.
I'm just
Yeah.
pulling up your TikTok right now.
Oh,
So if anyone
I
wants to
haven't,
follow her, that's okay. It's okay.
We'll put it down below.
If I can get it there. Tori Stories.
there I am.
Like it.
There we go. I'll have videos.
Yes. Some funny ones in there. I do plan on getting back to doing it. I just recently moved from Texas to Michigan.
Take your
So
time.
a big, long move. So for me, it's just getting everything set up, getting a library in place and things like that so I can like record and actually like, you know, do it again. Because
Yeah.
I really do enjoy talking about the books that I enjoy. And so I think that, it can be contagious. So
It
keep
can be.
people
What kind of books
reading.
do you enjoy?
So my main two genres, I would say, are fantasy and then science fiction. So it's a main focus in fantasy, but then I do mix in sci-fi as well. And
So it's
any
like my books were meant to be on your shelf or your
right,
Kindle.
right, exactly. And they have dinosaurs, so like, what
Hey.
can you do wrong, or what can go wrong? Dinosaurs. Um, but the one of the main things I read is probably the high fantasy, which is, fantasy not of this world. So you're
Hmm.
more Lord of the Rings and things like that. So I'm also like, I have a strange niche of, I like to read like anthropomorphic. I don't know if you guys know of warrior cats.
Hmm.
Books about cats and I enjoy, books from the perspective of animals even. So like I'll pretty much read anything
That's cool.
that's got a good story and is interesting
Yeah.
and has some drama, things like that. So,
I
but
actually know someone that's writing a book that's like anthropomorphic dinosaurs in
ooh, that
space.
was cool.
It,
Oh wow,
in space.
in
In
space
space.
got me.
They sent me their first chapter and I went, you know what? Get out, like, take my money now. Yeah. Because at first I was confused. I'm like, are there dinosaurs in this? Or, like, are these humans that are about to meet dinosaurs? And she goes, no, they are the dinosaurs. I went, okay, that way makes
We
way
talk
more
to.
sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's cool. That sounds awesome. But yeah,
Oh,
that's like a weird thing that not a lot of people know that I read, but I think that it's great for some
That's cool.
reason. Just the fact that you can put a human persona into an animal, just for
Hmm.
me, is like, what? How do you do that and make it believable?
So since you love dinosaurs, then I recommend to you Raptor Red.
Yes,
You've
I
read
do
it?
have. No, I have
Okay.
like two copies of it though.
Nice. Nice.
Like there's one with a holographic cover. It's really neat.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, so cool.
I
Very
love
cool.
that.
I'm wondering now, how do you feel as you become more of an alpha and a beta reader, having that relationship with the author?
It's actually to me way cooler than if I just read a book by some, big name author that I don't personally know. It's a little bit of a different feel. You feel more connected to the author and where the author is coming from. So like even Derek sometimes in his books will put little jokes like about like, oh, hey, you should write a book, or something like that. Or, little things here and there. Oh,
It's a bit meta.
I really hope this book turns into a movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see because I'm like, oh, I know him and I know he would love that. So you get to see a little bit deeper into the writing, I feel like, and get to know the author. When you know the author a little bit, you really get to know you know, the work a little bit deeper, I think.
And I'm not asking that question just because we do know each other. It's just I
Right.
find it's a testament to what book talk and social media is able to do for authors now compared
Yes.
to, like, there would have never been a chance I could have maybe even messaged Michael Crichton when I was younger,
Right.
right?
No,
As a kid. But
exactly.
now it's just made it so accessible that people can actually be a part of an author's life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Especially an author that's like up and coming. Like I have some friends that are wanting to become them. And I think, hey, I alpha read that book for her when she wasn't even published, or
Yeah.
something like that. It's kind of a cool thing to think about.
Are you
So,
able to say who the author was that you first did the alpha or beta read for? Where you said English
um,
wasn't their first language?
oh yes, I have her on TikTok. I'd have to pull up what she has her pen name is now, because she's writing under a pen name. I know her, obviously her
Yeah.
real name,
Well, give us the
but
real
it's
name. No.
Victoria Corbeck,
Oh, another Victoria.
Corbeck. Yeah,
Nice.
Victoria. Yeah. So she's a sweet girl. She's a friend of mine. So yeah,
Nice. I know so many Victorias now.
yeah, I know.
I'm surrounded by Victorias. It's Victoria Page, Victoria Rivera, who writes the Raptor Eva series.
I guess I just need to start
So,
writing dinosaur books to fit in with all the Victorias now.
yeah.
I've read
Do
enough
it.
of them. Do it, lady.
Do it.
I find that finding beta readers was so scary,
Oh,
like
really?
as an author. Yes.
To find
Like,
someone that you feel like would tell you the truth.
Trust.
yes. And you can trust. And it's just scary because it's like, especially one of your first books, it's so close. It's so close to you. Like, you don't want someone to be like, this is trash, you
Right.
know? So, like, you do and you don't, right? You need to find a good balance of people who can, like, give back to you what you need to make the manuscript better. But it's like letting someone
Or
read your soul.
you don't want
Yeah.
someone to be like, Libby,
Bearing your
this
soul.
is the worst thing I have ever written.
Has that
Listen, I
ever
have
happened?
people. Yes. Yeah. I have people on my team now that like that's their specific job. Like their job is to tell me when it's trash because I trust
Okay.
them to be honest about it. Um, like I know they're not saying it because they're jealous. They're not saying it because they don't understand the concept. They're not saying it just because they're having a bad day or whatever. They're saying it because it's true. um, and so my beta team, I make sure has like a little bit of like I have a cheerleader who their only job is to tell me how awesome I am. Like their
It
job is
balances
like,
out the trash.
yeah. Um, and like if it doesn't work, they'll tell me, and I respect that. But like that's what I need. I need someone who reads the book who just loves my work and reminds me that I'm a good author because sometimes it feels like you're not, right? And then I have people who can be bluntly honest because you need like a balance of all of them. So when you communicate, like when you communicate with Derek, how do you communicate things that are like positive, negative, or like what perspective do you bring? Because like my team has like I have one person who just looks at weapons. Like her job, besides telling me about the story, is like your weapons are wrong in 4 of these chapters. So like
That's detailed.
yes.
Man,
I
she
love
gets
that.
real into it. Probably, I would say I'm like Derek's cheerleader, I guess, just to get him to keep going. Because
You
sometimes,
cover a lot of bases, though.
but I do
Yeah,
because I also will kind of almost pre-edit, like if something doesn't make sense,
Mm-hmm.
sentence wise.
that's important. We
I'll
need
be
that.
like, hey, you know what? I think, or, there's some phrases that maybe are different. And I don't exactly know like who he's marketing towards, like Americans or Canadians. But if
I
I
was
see
gonna
a
say she's probably
phrase,
like, is he saying this in a Canadian way?
yeah. So if there's something that like
Those
seems
weird
like
Canadians.
vice versa, like it should be vice versa, I'll tell him. So sometimes I like do little corrections like that, but I never am like, wow, this really didn't make sense. Because usually it does, at least to me. I And the chapters he writes his chapters like pretty short for because they're more YA, geared towards YA. So it makes it easy to read and comprehend. So I think that I probably could critique him a little bit more. I should probably start
Should
doing
just yeah,
that.
just tell me
Just
tell me
bash him
everything that does
every
not work.
yeah.
I need to know.
I need to start catching his plot issues
See, my thing is I
before he
edit
does.
as I write for the
Right.
most part,
Same.
and it's like
Mhm.
I cannot move on until like the dialogue is perfect,
Mhm.
and then sometimes I'll write the chapter, I send it to Victoria, and then like I said earlier, I
Mhm.
realized I made a mistake earlier in the book. So
Mhm.
like I'll send a chapter, or like the one I sent you where I added a new intro to the
Huh?
chapter.
Huh?
Did you read the first version first?
Yes.
You
and
did.
I
Okay.
liked the second version better.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even that's helpful because
Mhm.
sometimes, we have those afterthoughts. We're just like, oh,
Right.
you know what? I just need to make that one tweak. And it's like, I know you just read this, but just read this one part.
Yeah. And that's the
Yeah.
thing too, that if it hadn't been good, I would have been like, wait, why did we add this? Like, it's not adding anything, but it did to me. So,
And I will say, we will see that character come back. That
oh,
was in
really?
that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's going to lead to some interesting tension.
Ooh.
Ooh, the
So
secret before
it's
the
cool
secret.
to like also have the suspense. I think that's another thing about like beta or alpha reading or whatnot. When you are getting the chapters one piece at a time, it's like, ooh, give me a little bit more. Like I get to figure it out, as I go, a little suspense
Hmm.
to it. Like I'm almost like reading a suspense book. I'm just waiting, you know,
Yeah.
for the stuff to happen, for stuff to
Uh,
go down.
yeah. So we've talked about what you do enjoy about a lot of like, I don't want to go negative, but what do you not enjoy about being an alpha or beta or arc?
Okay. So what I don't enjoy, that's another thing, even though I'm like I just mentioned that it gives you some suspense. So when I get the next one, usually I'm like, oh, I need to read that. Sometimes I forget. Derek knows. But it's like the having to be so patient. Whereas if I just literally go into my library across the hall, I can pick up a book and read it from start to finish. Whereas with when he's writing it and giving it to me little pieces at a time, it's almost more of I have to be patient, and I'm not the most patient sometimes. To be more patient, wait for that. So that's probably the part that's like the hardest. Like I'm waiting on Derek to finish a part of Orva, which is one of his
Mm,
new books that he's going to have coming out. And I'm like,
yeah.
come on, man. Like, I'm waiting for the story.
Meanwhile, I'm working on Ultimate Agent or Swordcore Origins or bouncing back to Ultimate Agent.
So it's like the bouncing around is the part that's like, oh, man, I wish I could finish this, you know? But
I'll try to focus on one just from now on.
no, but
Start to
it's a
finish.
cool experience at the same time. But it is one of those things where it's like, oh, well, if it was published, I could just read it all, at once. So that's more of a not a challenge. It's just more of like, oh, I have to be patient. I don't like to be patient.
See, I'm more curious if there's anything you have to teach us authors from the reader perspective of like
From the
maybe
reader.
even do's and don'ts or like faux pas, you know?
Don't misspell stuff really bad. Don't leave out all the F's in your novels is probably my top recommendation for what you should not do. Um, but no, like I think that authors just, write for what you think the reader will want to see. Like, and I think that's why I like Derek's writing and, other authors' writing is write things that people don't expect, twist something that, wouldn't normally be twisted. Because that's what I think as a reader I like. I like to be fooled by a plot twist or something happens and I'm like, wait, what was that? What just happened? Like really eye opening. Um, you know, reveals and things like that. I love that. So from a reader's perspective, just any twists and turns and things like that are appreciated in my opinion.
I can see that. Yeah.
Right. And just making sure like everything is cohesive plot wise. Sometimes
Yeah.
authors like really try to shove, especially in fantasy, they try to shove a lot in and it's
Hmm.
almost overwhelming. Like you can't
Well, like
really be
context
attached
wise.
to anybody context wise. Like yeah, and if you're
Yeah.
putting in 40 characters, it's going to be harder for me to
Mm.
follow than if we just
With
focus
names that
on
we cannot pronounce.
right. Like let's just focus on little
I'll
bit.
never get over that.
What was that?
I'll ne- I I can't pronounce like half the names I read in fantasy novels, and I just
Right.
make up a name for them in my head, and I
In
feel
your
like
mind.
that's such a universal thing. And then I'm like, why do we keep creating names that are so difficult to pronounce that readers just make things up?
Exactly. And
That's a
then
total side quest, guys. I'm sorry.
and that's okay because it makes sense because sometimes I'll tandem read an audiobook with the physical book. And I'll go back to the physical book and look and be like, who is that? And then I have to kind of listen to the audiobook and be like, oh, that's how we are pronouncing that. That's so interesting. You know,
That's how we're
Totally
saying
not
that.
what I was doing.
could we not have just gone with Jared, you know, or something like that?
Jared.
No,
a
it
dragon
had to
named
be
Jared.
something totally different.
I have like a hard rule that there will be no weird names in any of my books because
Good.
I can't say them.
And so you mainly write thriller, Libby? I don't think I've seen any of your books yet.
No,
Hold on.
action. They are action thrillers, adult action thrillers, like John Wick meets The Godfather with like the found family of Buffy. It's kind of
Oh,
how I've been pitching it lately. Not
okay.
fantasy though; it's modern day assassins. That
Victoria's now like, I know where my next paycheck's going.
Exactly.
yeah,
Because
the fourth
I do
book
actually.
comes. Yeah, I'm excited. The fourth book comes out in October 24th.
Okay. I can start
So
now and be there. I'll be done.
There you go.
It's fine.
yes.
Unless Derek keeps sending me more and more.
Eh.
But
We'll see
Derek,
how the rest
you
of the
keep-
year goes.
I
Yes,
also
that's true.
do like thrillers or historical fiction as a like a palate cleanser because fantasy is sometimes like too much, too heavy, too much going on. So
Yes.
like to read something that's just like, ooh, I like this action and you know, different. Like in our world, it's really cool to go from genre to genre like that even. So
Yeah, if you
yeah.
like dark and gritty,
Ooh,
the books are dark and gritty.
okay. I wouldn't
So
you know, just seeing you, I don't know why I wouldn't have expected it. Like you're like so, you know, and then it's like I write these really bad A thrillers, you know.
yeah, like they're
You don't
dark.
mess with Livy.
No.
No.
She could take it down. She's a
So
secret assassin.
She also
I
teaches
am.
jujitsu.
I do.
Really? That's so cool.
Yes.
I used to box
Yeah.
a long time ago. Used to be into boxing and MMA. Yeah. Long
I
time
love
ago.
MMA.
Oh,
Like
I love to watch it too. Yeah, it's great.
I like the violence. Anyway, there's a lot of violence in my books.
And
That's
then there's
awesome.
my family friendly dinosaur suit. No.
How we ended up on a podcast
The odd
together, I
person
don't
gets
know.
shot
Yes,
or
and
like
it's
hand bitten off.
yeah, Derek's are so tame. So that
Uh,
will be
Tame.
so
I
fun.
love that.
It's so tame. Tame
I love hearing
dinosaurs. They eat
every once
grass.
oh every once in a while I hear
Carcasses.
someone go, yeah, every once in a while I hear someone go, your books were just a really nice palate cleanser. I'm like, cool.
They give you
As
a
long as
sense
you
of
enjoyed it, great.
happiness, you know?
yeah,
And then
Happily
hers
ever
they're
are
after.
like,
needed.
wow. Violence, fighting.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
there's
My
a
wife finished
within the
reading
first.
Dungeon Crawler Carl, by the way.
How was it?
She enjoyed it. I don't think she's going to continue it on because it was so violent.
Oh,
Mm,
well, yeah,
I'm like,
I could see
that's
that.
fair.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, though. She was the first to read it.
I've heard really good things.
Yeah, it's great. You would like it. It's got a humor that's pretty fit for like anyone born in the 80s and 90s. Like it has
Perfect.
that vibe to it. Like the humor is great. The pop culture references and things like that are just hilarious. Love that book. It's a favorite of mine.
I'll have to pick it
Sorry,
up.
I
Maybe in
cut
the
you
top
off, Libby.
10.
For what?
No, I cut you off. You were saying something, and then I mentioned Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Oh, I don't even remember. It's early
I
here.
apologize.
It's out. It's gone.
It's gone. It
It's
left. I
gone.
haven't had all my tea yet today.
Oh, what time is it? It's 7:30.
7:30 here, but she's in
It's
Japan. Don't
I'm
forget.
in
Oh, that's right.
Japan,
That's
so it's
Yeah.
right.
8:30 in the morning. Which I mean,
Oh, you need more tea.
I need more tea. I
Lots
do
more tea. Do y'all ever drink matcha?
all the time.
You like
Every once in a
matcha. Okay, so my
I love
boyfriend and I,
matcha.
we're getting into the matcha game. He's a big tea guy. I'm a coffee girl
Yes,
though. So, Derek, are
we
you
have a
into
lot
coffee?
of like authentic matcha here. It's so good.
So I did hear that matcha is going to be going up in price because the demand is so high now all around the world. Yeah,
Hmm.
so many people are on the matcha kick that it's actually even the fields can't keep up.
Oh well, I'll have it my
So
one time.
my one
My
time.
one time. I did not get ceremonial grade. I was not about that life.
Yeah.
But
That's so
Uh,
funny.
Derek, do you do tea or coffee?
my wife is half British, so we only do tea here. We do
Only
not drink
tea.
coffee. Yeah.
Oh, dang. I'm the only one. I'm gonna add it
Lots
too.
of tea. My
I
wife
have
is
to have
like,
it.
okay, you have your morning tea, and then 3 o'clock hits, and oh, it's afternoon tea time. I gotta have a. I take cookies to work with me, and I have a tea bag sometimes, and then my wife's always having her tea at 3 o'clock.
So cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Tea
it's very
time.
proper British.
I should make that a thing at our house. Like, at
You
3
should.
o'clock, we need tea.
Yeah,
You
and
should.
a lot of
Yeah, we
problems are
need
fixed
matcha.
over tea.
Yes. Yeah.
Tea does wonders.
Tea. I
It
burn my
does.
mouth every time I drink tea, y'all.
Here's a reader question to bring it back to that.
Oh,
What is
yeah.
your drink of choice while reading?
Yes.
Well, obviously a Starbucks, just
Oh yeah,
Starbucks
yeah.
coffee of some sort. I'm an iced girl, so I like my
Ice.
coffee
Okay.
cold. In the morning, I'll drink it hot if I have to, but I'm an iced
Are you
coffee
into the
kind of.
pumpkin stuff this time of year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely got to go. If you're reading, you got to go with the pumpkin spice
That's
latte.
like the
That reminds
perfect.
me,
Yeah.
I have a card.
I used to drink coffee. I can't drink it anymore. Um, but pumpkin spice latte with like a cozy mystery in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the perfect recipe for happiness.
I think that for October, we're going into my boyfriend and I actually met on Book Talk, which is a funny story.
Really?
Yes, and he lived in Michigan, obviously, and I was in Texas, and he commented on one of my videos asking me some questions.
Really?
And then I started a Fable book club, and he joined, and we talked, and I thought, oh, he's very funny and he's very kind. And so he started messaging me directly through TikTok, and then we started talking on Instagram, and then from there started, to
I love that so much.
figure out that not only did we have similar taste in reading and what we like to read, we started reading books together, and then we ended up meeting, and now we're here. So it's really a cool
Look
thing,
at
a
that.
cool story to tell people. I'm like,
Book Talk
you guys have
doesn't
to have
just bring
fun.
authors and readers together, it brings like relationships together. I
I
love
love
that.
that. That's so
Someone
sweet.
needs to write a book about that.
Right. And what's
Yeah.
funny is we still do read the same book. Like he'll audiobook at work, and I'll read the physical book at home, and we'll kind of catch up. And so it's something that like we use to bond together as well. So TikTok has brought me a lot of good friends, and
That's awesome.
and a boyfriend too. So
Love it.
um but yeah, it's really cool how you can connect with so many people just over something such as simple as liking the same book or in things like
Yeah.
that. That's really cool.
So is it difficult to have to like read, like alpha read, and then you have no one to share it with? Because like you
Mm.
talk about books a lot with other people, but like you can't talk about your alpha and beta readers with many other people.
Right, exactly. So and you don't want to spoil anything before it comes out, so it does hurt a little bit. And I almost feel like once like Derek finishes any of his that I'm reading for him, alpha reading, that I will still go back probably and read the arc too, so I get the full effect of the book. And that way I can also be fresh to talk about it with people and review it and things like that. So, because it is hard to remember everything too.
Yes.
Tell Dane I do not have any alpha or beta readers of the male perspective.
Oh, okay, I'll let
And
him
if
know.
he's interested,
Uh-huh.
I can extend that offer.
I'm sure, like, I'll ask him and see if he wants to do it.
Cool.
Because yeah,
Cool.
from the male perspective, be interesting to see,
It would.
because I'm
Yeah.
sure there's, I feel like too the percentage of women on in the book community is much higher than men. Is that
Yeah.
what
It's
you guys
nice we're
kind of
starting to
see?
see a bit more of guys like getting more vocal on Book Talk. And yeah, I'm happy to see more guys, just like regular guys like me, just coming out and be like, hey, I actually really enjoyed this book.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's cool. I think too. Um, what's actually interesting, or what I've noticed, is as a reader, is I haven't read as many, and I need to prioritize it. I haven't read as many female authors as I have male authors for some reason. I don't know if that's just the genre that I read. You know, sci-fi fantasy. So many, very male dominated, probably
Hmm.
in the
Yeah.
fantasy. Um, because I can't think of many that I've read by women other than some Robin Hobb.
Hmm.
And that's pretty much that. So,
MT Zimmy isn't, she's sci-fi, isn't she?
Yeah, fantasy
oh,
Yeah.
sci-fi. MT Zimney.
Yeah.
Her
okay.
books are really good. So I, I loved Harry Potter growing up. It's always
Mhm.
going to hold a special spot in my heart. And I was like, Harry Potter's my favorite young adult series. MT Zimney is now my favorite young adult series. Um, yeah, she has a superhero, but it's not just like superhero. It's like it's hard to explain, but it's so good.
Oh, it sounds good.
Isn't there, there's a bit of Greek
um,
mythology, isn't there?
yeah, some Norwegian
That's it. Yeah, yeah,
mythology.
yeah.
That's
No,
really
Icelandic mythology up in there, and then Vikings and um, a little bit of magic, a little bit of sci-fi, and it's this girl who she has no superpowers. There's nothing special about her. She doesn't have the gene to be one, but she ends up on this team trying to save her roommate who got kidnapped, and she gets dropped into this world of like superheroes, and she does not belong, and she fights her way to be on this team to be able to help save her roommate. And then they discover that um, she's injured in battle and killed, and then she wakes back up. And they're like, but you don't have any superpowers, and what the hell is wrong with you? And so then we find out that she has something going on, and that the villain's very focused on her for some reason. It's so good.
interesting.
Plot
It sounds
twists.
really
Yeah. And if you like character driven, like this is character driven, I've never, well, it's been a very long time since I've been like yelling at an audiobook because I audiobook them, and her narrator is fantastic. And there's a character in book one I hate. It's a trilogy. Like I hate this character so much. I'd message her because we're friends. I'm like, this is I hate this character. Like, why would you, right?
why would you
And
write
then
this character? What is wrong with you?
yeah, like God, I hate them so much. And then by book three, I was like, if you touch a hair on his head, we are not friends anymore, and I cannot talk to you.
From book 1 to 3.
Yeah. So like talk about character arc and character connection. And I'm
Right.
like, yeah, I was yelling at the audiobook in book three. And I don't do that very often. So 10 out of 10 recommend. That's your genre. You should definitely read it. It's called The Apex Cycle by MT Zimney. Yep. And then she just had a new one come out called Skullterra. And that one's more magic in like nightmares. So like you go to sleep, your consciousness gets pulled to another realm to fight for magicians.
That's cool.
It
That's a
was
cool.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds really cool. I'll definitely have
Um,
to check that out. I'm always, as a reader, I don't know if you guys are this way as authors, but I literally am always like on Goodreads trying to find something new or the next thing.
and it's so
Um,
overwhelming.
hmm
So overwhelming.
And so that's why I guess also Book Talk has helped um, me to find authors like you guys, where it's not like, oh, this is you sometimes you see people talking about the same book over and over, and it's like, okay, I tried that, didn't like it. Can we get another recommendation for something? And so that's where it's cool to be scrolling through and see like an author trying to promote their book. It's like, oh, hey, I'll check that out. It's just
We appreciate
more,
it.
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
just more. I don't know. Like you were always, or I'm always on the search for like the next thing that's my next 5 star. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to be reading no 2 star, 3 star as a reader. I want something that I consider to be 5 stars the best, that kind of thing. And so just always searching for it. And I'm glad that I found Derek's books because I loved all of his books. Um, so he's
Just
so
keep talking about me and my book. No.
he's, he's so great and wonderful.
She hasn't yelled at me yet. She actually has not yelled at me yet.
Did I
No.
not?
I
Okay.
don't think so.
I
I
did.
don't think
There
so. I'm
was
kind
a
of waiting for
plot
that day to
twist
come, though.
or a character reveal in one of his books, and I was like, "Did you seriously just do that? Bring this
Mm,
character into this, realm or whatnot?"
yeah, yeah.
So it's,
Yeah. That's my favorite part as an author, connecting with my beta and alpha readers and just like fans in general. Like Derek was saying, we can connect with them now. Is that when I get DMs of like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Victoria hasn't said that to me yet.
no, but
No.
please don't be because Derek's nicest characters, so there's not really anything that I
Oh, I'm
can.
not nice to mine.
I'm sure, yeah, most authors aren't.
Not at
But
all.
Derek is he's nice to them because he has to think of the children, you know, that might be
I
reading his
do.
books. Don't want to
That's
I mean,
traumatize a
true.
12-year-old. Although
there were a couple things that, yeah.
I feel like it's fine though, because as a kid I was like traumatized by The Lion King and Land Before Time and
Oh, yeah,
those. So you could do it,
Bambi.
Bambi.
yeah.
Yeah, you could be meaner. I'm just kidding.
But I bet the venison tasted so good,
So good.
so good. Little chimichurri on
And
there.
the
I don't know.
jerky, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, you guys.
That's so
But
yeah.
funny.
So now I want to know how your wallet feels about being an alpha, beta, and arc reader.
it's, you know, if you get on an author anyways and you're like, wow, I read the first book in this series, now I have to have all of their books, or I read this, three, these three books, and now I need everything the author's written. So yeah, and my pocketbook doesn't like that very much. I there's a smaller author that I found through TikTok, I think. He writes, I don't know if you guys have heard of Will White. He writes the Cradle series. It's like a progression fantasy. Well, he did like a Kickstarter for his books. He did all the leather covers and all this. And of course, I had to buy them. There's 12 books. I'm spending $400 once a year just to get the three
Isn't
books.
Will White the actor from Star Trek?
No, is that somebody? I think
Hold on.
maybe spelled different. Maybe.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Maybe like white, and so I think his is Wight. But those are
I'm pretty sure that's the Star Trek actor.
I am
right.
not good with actors
Oh, me neither.
or
I don't know.
authors. Names.
Mm.
Mm-mm. I can tell you I liked the book. I can't tell you who wrote it, probably.
Oh,
Oh,
so
are his books Waybound, Dreadgod,
yeah.
Reaper?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, so it's not the actor. No.
No, but
Okay.
but his books are great, and I spend way too much money on his leather-bound books
Nice.
just so I can have the shelf trophies.
I
Even
was gonna
like
say they probably look beautiful
Yeah.
in there.
yeah, exactly. But that's all they're there for, really, at that point. But I have a question for you guys because I'm
Ooh.
just curious. Um, Other than your books specifically, what are some of your favorite books? I know that Libby mentioned, the series, the Apex Cycle. Was that what it was?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, but like Derek, do you have a favorite of all time? Top?
I mean, I've always been a Crichton guy. I Jurassic Park has always been like I actually need to do a reread of that. Um, of newer authors that have come into my life as I've gone on this author journey. I'm really enjoying Janaea Del Vega's series. I don't often read like dark, gritty stuff, but I do love a good thriller. Her series has just given me this whole new appreciation for the Western genre. I'm almost done reading the finale to her, like Smoke and Other Storms, the Revere's trilogy. I'm so close, and I'm just like, I don't know how you're gonna pull this off in the last few chapters, but I'm gunning through it.
Yeah.
And there's just something. Such a unique voice, and I keep telling people a unique voice in the book world that more people need to appreciate her style of writing because it is different. Like I've never seen anything like it before, personally. Um, but yeah, her books, I do enjoy still like a few, stuff for kids. I enjoyed the Ben Archer series by R.A. Knightley. She's also a fellow Canadian out west in British Columbia. And that's a good series for young readers, definitely. Um, I do want to hop into Libby's books though, and I especially want to listen to the audiobooks because her audio narrator is from essentially like 10 minutes away from me.
Down the road.
Really?
Like,
Oh
That's
yeah.
yeah.
crazy.
Small world.
I
That's
just
so.
talked to him. I saw his studio.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
looks
did you?
good.
Little
Yeah.
tour. Nice.
Well, like just this, we had a meeting yesterday. And so
Yeah.
just this, like, I'm like, wow, that looks so nice in there.
Nice. Nice. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
recording the next book next week.
Ooh,
That's
that's
So
exciting.
exciting.
excited.
That sounds
Nice.
great.
Yeah.
I've heard that the audiobooks for Derek's are good too, but I read them all physically. I didn't do the audiobook, but
And I technically only have two, so it's
only
like
the
Dino
two,
Ridge,
yeah.
Sorokor. Yeah,
Right.
Mm.
Primeval Ranch. I do want to get done with Izzy again, but I mean, she just got married. She's just getting life back on track, so I'm giving her
Right.
some time.
Oh yeah.
So
No rush, I'm sure.
yeah,
But
I do
that's
have people
awesome.
asking me though. They're like, Are you doing an audiobook for Primeval?" And I'm like, just wait. Just give Izzy. She needs to relax and get back on schedule.
Yeah.
So I guess another question that I have is when did you guys start reading, like as kids? Because for me, I
Oh,
started reading when I was, really young. I learned to read when I was really young. And so I was getting pushed, like short chapter books when I was, 6, 7 years old. So I was into like Hank the Cowdog and the Magic Tree House and those types of books, like as a kid. And then I fell off after I was about, I don't know, 12 or 13 and didn't read until I was like 30. So,
oh wow.
yeah, I took like a really long break where I didn't really read anything. And then I read
So
on,
was it because you just didn't find the right books,
I don't
or
know if it's that or if I just didn't never thought about it anymore. Like I just didn't, I used to like, my mom used to take us to the library all the time as kids and whatnot. And,
Yeah.
we would pick out whatever books we want and I'd run through them as fast as I could since you had to return them and then, go back and get more. And so, but after a certain age, I think it's because I also started working and stuff, like babysitting and stuff. And I was like 14, 15. So I thought, oh, well, now I have a job. So it didn't really fit in anymore. I kind of forgot about it. And then all of a sudden I was like, I have all these books. Maybe I should read them, you know?
hmm.
So it was kind of just
Well,
a thing.
Libby, you can answer that question first. I realized I did not plug in my laptop, so you go ahead and answer that first, and I'm just going to plug this in.
Yes. So I actually never finished a book until I was, I don't know, like eighth, seventh grade. I just
Was it
didn't
like
like to
for
read.
school?
Yeah, no. But my parents always like encouraged. So I'd like, oh, I want to read this book. And they'd buy it and then I'd never read it.
Mm-hmm.
My sisters read to me a lot, which was fantastic. But I picked up the Harry Potter series, book
Mm-hmm.
one. I think it was like maybe sixth grade. I my my mom always so supportive. I was like, "Can we get this book?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't care, whatever." And I actually did not take my nose out of it for 3 days. Like I
Oh,
read it at school, I read it at the grocery store, I finished it, and I was like, "Can we get the next one?" And that ricocheted my love for reading.
that's
Because
awesome.
before that, I liked to write like plays. I liked the idea of reading, but like I never finished a book for school. My sister has always had to read the books to me. Um, yeah. And then so Harry Potter is why I became an avid reader and an author.
Right.
So
That's really cool
yeah.
to know, the backstory too of how you guys started out or like where you started.
Yeah.
And
And
for
I think
me,
if
it
my
was
mom wasn't supportive of just buying the books, even though like we probably didn't have enough money and like she's like, okay, you want it, we're gonna buy it because it's reading and it's important, even though you're probably not gonna
Mhm.
read it. I probably never would have
Right,
read a book because she had to be the one to support me. So
right. That's awesome.
and
That's
what were
really
you
great.
saying? Sorry. I cut you off.
No, I was just saying, like, for me, I took such a long break that I don't know. It was like, this is refreshing to come back to. Like, I remembered why I liked it when I was younger,
Yeah.
and like
Would you say it's
rediscovered.
also like the escapism?
Right. Yes, that's a big thing, I think too. As you get older, you want to go back to as a kid, you could go and escape into the world of a book. And then now getting
What
older, it's like, oh, I would like to do that again.
what was the first book you read when you got back into reading?
Um, gosh, I think it was, oh, I can't even tell you. I read so many in quick succession. I started on a like a Brandon Sanderson kick. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
huge in the fantasy world. And so that's one of my Mistborn is by him is one of my favorite series. Um, but I may have actually started with I think The Selection by Kira Cass actually.
Okay.
So very YA romance type book. And I was like, well, whatever. And it was just exciting to me, like I don't know, the plot of the book and like whatnot. And now I completely read something else. But
Yeah.
that's kind of one of the first things. And it was weird how that brought me back into like, hey, this is really not bad. I
Like
can sit here while I'm, at my desk and it's quiet at work and read on my Kindle,
yeah.
So
Yeah. I
really
took
fun.
a 4-year hiatus of reading when I had my kids because I just didn't have time to read. They were toddlers. And I did some audiobooks, but it's not the same. Like it was in between like screaming children. So I took like, yeah, like, guys, what do you need? They're about to off somebody. Like, what do you need? Like, stop. Um, and then they got old enough. Like I never really wore headphones because I wanted to be able to hear them. So then they got old enough that I couldn't play the type of things I liked out loud. Yeah, it took a while. And then I remember like the first book that I sat down and read fully when my kids were younger was Fallen. It's like a YA angel. I picked it up at the library and I sat there all day. I read it in a day. I was like, I forgot I liked reading.
Yeah.
It's weird because, and then every once in a while, you go through like a little like, I don't want to read anything. I haven't had time to read anything. And then I get mad about it. I get all salty. Like, I need it. It's like my coffee.
Yeah, right.
Or like if you read a book and you're just like, oh, that put a really bad taste in my mouth. And it's like, to try to pick something else up, it's like, oh. So I guess that's another good thing about alpha reading too, is like, I always know that I'm probably going to be expecting something from Derek. So if I'm in a reading slump, I'll be like, oh, well, there's some chapters from Derek that will help,
Yeah.
You get like back on it doing, you know, doing, other books as well. So, because I try to do too many at once. That's my downfall.
Yeah.
Sometimes we write too many at once. Like me.
That's not a thing. It's not a
So,
thing.
Livy,
No.
are you like Derek? Do you write 7 series at a time or
No,
7.
one?
I'm in the Assassin's Legacy world.
Mhm.
Assassin's Legacy series is the name of my
Okay.
series. So I'm deep in it right now. So book 1 took 10 years to write. And I wrote it on and off because I like finished it after I had my baby, and then we moved to Japan the first time, and then I had toddlers, and so it was a very long, drawn out project. So I've been in this world for so long that I'm finishing it before I move on to anything else.
But you have plans for other things?
But yeah, I have plans for other things. I do write multiple storylines though. So like the book coming out in October is a prequel. So I'm writing that timeline. But book 3 is present day, and I'm also still working on that timeline. And then I have a Patreon where I write like offshoots of the characters, and some of it's for the books, and some of it's just for me to build characters, and like just understand them better and get their background, and then be able to give fans more stuff. So I write like multiple storylines at once, which I feel like is kind of the same because I'm writing like 40 years apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
But it's cool
lot.
because you're still keeping it in the same universe, which I
Mm-hmm.
try
Yeah.
to do with a lot of my books too.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah. But I do have. Go ahead.
Was the series that you're planning next going to be connected to the one that you're in, or no?
No.
No, it's
No.
separate.
The next one is a paranormal, like Reaper action thriller.
Oh, I need to get on this.
Victoria's like, tell me more. Just tell me
It's
more.
been percolating
You
for
need
like.
an alpha reader? No, I'm just kidding.
I do. I will 100% need an
Okay.
alpha reader for this.
Well, I will have to
The
plan.
goal is that this series, there's 2 more books in this series, that it gets finished in the next year and a half because I'm going to tandem write them at the same time.
Well, is it going to be something that you should tandem read then?
No. One of them's like the second half of the prequel, and then the other one is like the finishing of the series. So,
Oh, okay.
but they're 2 different timelines, so I can write them at the same time, and they don't get
Convoluted. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So
That's cool. But
yeah,
I was glad that I was able to talk to you guys about this today because I haven't ever really had the opportunity, like yeah, I have, you have your book talk platform, but I've never done anything, like this. So I think it's really cool. So thank you
And
so much.
we're hoping to
Yeah.
find more readers as well because I think we've only had, is it 3 people sign up on the forum so far?
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to reach out to my own and others, but
I
yeah,
haven't
if
reached out to
anyone,
mine yet. I'll do that.
that's okay.
If mine come on, they're just going to be mad at me. Like, it's
It's
just going to be an episode of them yelling at me. And I get
what
that
did she
enough in the
do?
Well, I
DMs.
definitely want to be here for that.
I don't know
There's
if I want to know what she did to her characters or whatever to find out why I would not like her.
All the things.
I
all the
like her right
things.
now. If I read her books, will I not like
Yeah.
her?
Uh, yeah. But I'll reach out to mine as well because I love hearing about like reader perspective. Like I beta read for a couple authors and I absolutely love it because I love seeing the progression and the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the possibility.
Not the character arc, just the.
Yeah, the character art, the oh my god.
We're authors, Libby. We should be able to figure this out.
Yeah, it's
I
Deal with
know.
words
right?
every day.
Every day I talk and for whatever reason, but like the possibility of the of like what can happen.
Right.
And I can't
Of
think
the
of the
unknown.
word that word represents. So we're just gonna go with
Yeah.
that. But I like seeing it.
Right. It's cool to see how it progresses from, chapter 1 to chapter, whatever, the end.
Yeah. The
You've seen the whole
potential.
thing, and then how
Potential.
I'm sure that it changes too, because then once he's written everything, obviously, or you guys have written everything, you're going to go back and change whatever you
Do
think needs to be
edits.
changed and do edits. And so by the time that I get it as an arc, it could be almost a little bit different from, what I read originally. So I think that's cool
Yeah.
to see.
Think Derek, have you ever gone back and asked Tori, like, hey, do you remember what happens here? Like, have you ever gone and like asked her questions about like story lore?
Um, I don't think I have yet, really. No. I mean, there's going to be things. It's unique writing the prequel because there's a lot of foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Little things that we like to put in there that have that later. Oh, sometimes you've read a certain scene or plot point in, say, Dino Rift, and then you go
Mm-hmm.
back to the prequel, or even like Primeval Ranch. Like that's 3 books deep, but I could still put something in Sorkor Origins just to make the reader go, "Oh, wait, yeah, okay, so that links up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Or there's
haven't.
that character
Yeah,
again that, yeah, it's just cool to see like or I think prequels are interesting. I really do. I find prequels really cool because you get to go back and figure out like the why something happened. So as
That's
authors,
why I
just
wrote
keep
book
that in
4.
mind. Prequels are good.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
the
those.
whole reason I wrote the 4th book is because
Mhm.
I needed everyone to understand why all of this happened. Like we got to the end of book 3 and everyone was like so excited. It's a villain arc. Book 4 is the villain arc. And so we start of like how my villain, she was this really innocent girl and like how did she end up to be this absolute monster?
Right. And
And
that's
it's been so much fun because they're so deep. It's never just one thing.
that's the book where you said you were wanting to do a montage, right?
Yes, I ended up figuring out how to stitch it together. It covers like 10 years. So I figured out how to stitch it together. But really, if it was a movie, it would have been just a montage, like a 45-second montage. And I had to
of the
write
things
like
that happen.
'Kay.
40,000 words to make it happen.
I'm at a point in Sorkor where I finally brainstormed the other night with my wife, and I went, okay, this one section, it would be so much to write, and I'm like, I need to try to do what Libby did and just do almost like a montage, if it's
Yeah,
possible.
Right.
it
But
was hard.
Alicia's like, there's a way you could do it where, I mean, you just make the succinct paragraphs and then move from one dinosaur to the next, and then go and just focus on the one that you want to focus on. I'm like, actually, yeah, that works.
Yeah, it's
That's
writing's
awesome.
hard.
I mean,
It can be.
and I don't know. I don't know if everyone is like this. Some people don't have as much of a love for characters in books as I do, I guess. Like I like to be attached. And I think that like any prequels or any backstory that's put into a story, I'll be like, oh, I get it now. And like, to almost, I think Derek even had like a character in one of his books where you almost kind of felt bad for the
Mm-hmm.
villain in a way. And that's almost like, oh, wow, well, that kind of makes sense why, you know, this person
Yeah, the
betrayed
Ooh,
empathy.
her.
you're talking about Aerosmith, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel bad at a certain point, and or you start to realize like, oh, you know, I don't think that guy was really a bad guy after all. I think it was just his circumstance, you know? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can kind of justify like what's happening. So I think that's really cool. So
I
I
love
like
that about
all that.
books. That's why I like to write is like morally ambiguity. Like if you were in this character's position, would you do the same thing? You might have like there is no good and bad. There's just situations and circumstances.
Yeah, the gray area is interesting
Mm-hmm.
to play with, I'm sure. So,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's my favorite.
but
A bully
obviously,
is a bully always for a reason.
yeah, and
Yes.
obviously I respect what you guys do because I couldn't do it. I just read them, but I could never, you know, put together, you know, something cohesive like that has like such a great story and plot and characters and, you know, things like that. Like
It
there's just
takes a
no way.
team though. That's
Question
why we
is,
that.
have you tried? Have you tried?
I when I was younger,
You
I
may
did,
have a
and
book
I'm
in you.
not good.
No.
Maybe a nonfiction, an autobiography. I'm just kidding.
But that's why we
You
have a
never know.
team. Is because it's hard and like I wrote the first book with not the idea of writing a series. Like I had an idea of a series, but I was trying to go trad publish at first, and they're like, you have to have a standalone with potential for a series. And I was like, okay, so that's what I did. And then I finished book one, and then I ended up self publishing. And everyone's like, where's book two? I was like, oh, you like it? Okay, I'll write book two. And so I wrote book two, and then I figured out the plot for book three, and then like I couldn't book one was 10, it took me 10 years. There was 5 drafts of book one. It went from young adult to adult, multiple point of view. Like my bad guy shifted like draft 3 or 4, like the entire plot line shifted. And so I called my niece and she came down to North Carolina with me. And I was like, we need to sit and do a book Bible because I don't know the storyline. And she's one of my beta readers. And I was like, you need to like you read these and I'm gonna ask you questions and you're gonna tell me what happens in the books. Because I had so many storylines of edits and changes that I didn't know what was published from like what was yeah. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I wrote this. And she's like, that's nowhere in the book. That's just in your head. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm pretty sure the readers already know about this. And she's like, I just read them. That's nowhere in the books. I'm like, dang it. So then I had to write it. But that's why I think beta readers are so important because then I can go and ask them, like, is this like published canon or is this like in my head? I imagined it, I wrote it, and then I never put it in the books. So
Right. Well, yeah,
that's,
because you're so many thoughts and like things you're creating in your mind that you have to put on
yeah.
paper. And then if you don't, you're like, oh, well, I
Yeah.
thought I did
Like
that, but I didn't do it.
100% positive I had this scene in a book and like it was not there. And I was like, that is so disappointing. Like, so
I
sorry.
finally had to sit down, like I said, and just like brainstorm. Like
Yes.
chapter to
Wow.
chapter, what takes me to the end, and then just let my brain fill in the rest.
Like, you know the end and
I'm
you know
normally a
where we're heading
pantser.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I always know where I have to go, but eventually it just gets to the point where I have to sit down and just go, okay, this has to happen and this has to happen. But then I have to fill that in with this, and I got to do that. And my wife's usually like, okay, cool. Or she'll
Yeah.
throw a few things in. Like she does help me out. But this, I will say, this hour has flown by.
Yeah.
This has been
We're actually
amazing.
beyond the hour. This has been awesome.
Yes. Tori, thank you so much for your insight. Cause like
Yeah.
I think my beta readers, like, and alpha readers are my favorite part of my team. And I couldn't write the books without them. So, like, I appreciate you and the work that you do and that you support authors because, like, you're so important.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Do you have any advice for alpha, beta, or ARC readers?
Yes, definitely. So just obviously be honest and, express your opinion. Keep an eye out for things that don't seem quite right. If you're, alpha or beta reading, like if you think something doesn't fit, just say something because it's just your opinion. And, it's up to you guys ultimately if you end up changing based off of our recommendations or not. Right. But, um, just to be honest, I think is the best. Like if you don't like something, say something. But if you like it genuinely, like say that, you know, um, don't keep, you know, keep anything to yourself, I guess. Just let them know because that helps you guys a lot to hear what the readers think. So I think
And
that's
I
where you
will,
have to come from.
yeah, and I'll end cap that with, for authors, when you hear that from your alphas and betas and arc readers, don't be a jerk.
Yeah, no.
Because, I mean, you chose them for a reason, and if they come at you with some criticism, it usually, most times, they are right.
Right.
I will
Exactly.
say 99% of the time, they are right.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah. Which is
So,
why it's also important to have a team of them, because if you just have one,
yes.
then it's hard. If you have like 3 or 4 and 2 of the 3 are like, this doesn't work, and one of them's like, oh, I like it, look at it. Like if a majority of people are saying something, then it's something to look at it. If it's one person out of 5 who doesn't like it, then it's not their taste, and that's fine too. Um, so it's important to like just take it all in, sit with it, have a cup of tea at 3 o'clock, discuss it,
Exactly.
and
exactly.
then
Change it if
make a
you want
decision.
to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and I'm sure that in books where like I'm sure it's a little different in books where like major characters get, so I'd probably be like, why did you do that?
Oh, I'm going to
I
get you to
don't
yell at me
like it,
sometime.
but you should do it, like do it,
Sometime.
but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Uh, all
So
right. Well, thank you so much
yeah,
for coming on,
thank you
Tori. This
guys.
has been fantastic. Guys, go follow her on Book Talk. Um, we'll put it down below so you can follow her.
Sure.
And you
And I will
guys
say the
have,
letter for today's episode is F. Don't forget your F's.
you can find them in my book, 128 of them.
The books that the F's that this book was missing, she's got them. Libby's got them.
Today's
Too.
letter, kids, is F.
Well,
Oh,
thank
that's
you
so funny.
guys so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Yes. All
Happy to
right,
have you
guys.
on.
We will see you next time.